We have your spoilers for Battles of Legend Glorious Gallery. Later this afternoon, Kong's Cards is going to have everything that you are going to need from the brand new Battles of Legend Glorious Gallery and yes, hero players. This is going to be an opportunity for you to be able to get all of the cool new fountains that you're going to need for your strategy. Discount code UMCO40 will save you on your purchase, and best of luck getting the cool cards you guys are going to want today. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So this set is pretty interesting for the cards that Konami chose to put in here, because there's a lot of good things that we needed to see, and actually Konami kind of did us some favors with this set. Now, starting off, you're going to see card destruction. I'm actually very impressed to see this reprint because we haven't seen a decent card of destruction in years. So the fact that Konami took the initiative to go ahead and toss us in here, I think it's kind of worth it. We do get to see the Invoked Fusions receiving reprints, which is something that we knew was probably going to happen in this set. You got to remember, we have more Invoked support coming in the next set, so it makes sense for Konami to kind of want to get ahead of the curve here and do things. That's how a lot of these sets tend to work. They try to fill in reprint holes within the sets to make sure that you can get those cards you need. We also do get to see Thea Realize finally getting a rarity upgrade. This has been something that we have waited so long to finally get. So I think that this is actually kind of a decent push forward here. At least, your cheaper common cards are becoming much more accessible. Condemned Witch got a reprint. I think this is fine. I mean, it searches for a forbidden card. It gives you the ability to rotate into some punishing little annoyances during the opponent's turn, which is good. We also get to see Mistaken Arrest coming in the reprint slot. This is good. Mistaken Arrest needed more printings because the card was starting to show up in side decks and was becoming a little bit punishing in the way that it was working. We also got Learning Elf, which gives you the ability to set a trap from your deck that equips it as an equip spell, which, I mean, Learning Elf itself in its current incarnation is not broken, but okay. And, hey, is that Fiendsmith's Requiem? Yes, Requiem did receive a reprint in this set. I'm absolutely astonished that Konami actually, remembered that people wanted cheap Fiendsmith cards. Next up, we get to see some of the new Dragoonity stuff kind of coming into circulation here. The new Dragoonity, this beautiful secret rare actually looks really good with the color scheming. I'm assuming Georgius is going to be a hard to pull secret rare, which I guess makes sense considering the fact that, it's Georgius. He kind of makes the deck what it is. Especially, every player is going to be chasing Georgius to be able to do the soft lock once the Halki Fibrex comes out. Dragoonic Legatus, hey, much needed rarity upgrade on this one. Annoy Talis finally got its reprint too. I mean, it makes sense that Annoy Talis would find its way in here because it's a Shaddoll reprint set, right? That Konami is going to go, oh, hey, Annoy Talis has been annoyingly expensive for most of this stupid card's life. So the fact that we're finally getting this reprint is good. Statue of Anguish pattern also needed a reprint. Holy crap, man. I cannot stress at how hard and how annoying this card actually was the pull. And, if you were an Odeon player, you're finally getting the chance to get this, which is kind of nice. Raigeki Break getting another reprint, I think, is kind of nice. This is something that has needed to happen for a little while. They needed just to be able to push these a little bit further into circulation so that, they'd be a little bit easier to access. We also got Queen of Thorns coming in on the reprint slot here as well, which is pretty welcoming, considering the fact before this reprint, this card was one of the most expensive Yu-Gi-Oh cards that you could have picked up in the modern era time. So I'm glad to see that. And it looks like the Rush Shaddoll Windy Kuru is also going to be pretty expensive herself here as a secret. But I mean, good news is, if you're looking at the new Shaddoll cards and you're like, hey, I want to play this, you don't have to go crazy on quantities to get these. It's just a couple of extra slots that you're going to have to pick up to be able to tech in for the deck. Next up here, we get to see some of our first chibis here. Stellar Knight Deltaros and Ptolemy M7 both received chibification, which is actually kind of cool, honestly. Of a lot of the chibis within this set, I didn't think I was going to like Deltaros and Ptolemy M7, but if you're looking to play some of the older formats or you just wanted these cards as generic little upgrades for the sets, I think you actually kind of did pretty well here with that, which is actually kind of nice. We do get to see Substitoad getting another reprint. A lot of people said Konami wouldn't do this. A lot of people thought that, we were done with this. The expensive days of Substitoad were going to continue. No, they actually did it. They actually are listening to their player base. Crazy, right? We also did get to see Elphobia receiving a reprint. This was pretty needed, honestly. Having a Floodgate monster receiving a good reprint is very welcome. Exosister Betrayal received a reprint. And we also got to see the Shadow Reaver Knight 21, which this card is kind of funny in the way it works, but it is finally arrived. And probably one of the most chaotic cards in the set is finally here. Overtuning is arriving within this set, which is going to be a little bit interesting just to kind of see where we're going to go with this card, especially with the whole Cool Tune application as a whole, because this is just if you control a tuner, special summon a tuner from the hand deck or graveyard, and then obviously you can't special summon from the extra deck except for Synchros, which, you were only going to be doing anyway. If they're already maximizing on Duelist Genesis, then, Overtuning's probably going to be one of the most expensive cards within this set, all things considering with what's available, how the player base kind of acts towards this stuff, and it just seems like the general opinion on this card is it is absolutely broken for the Cool Tune deck. Next up here, oh boy, Arc Rebellion Dragon has received a reprint here. Now, I'm not too particularly upset about seeing Arc Rebellion in here. The fact that this is one of those cards that you look at and you go, oh, hey, this is, with more support coming around the corner, you're going to see more of these OTK generic ideas kind of popping up, and you're going to see more and more players, wanting to get this card. I get it. It needed it. Jenny is in here. This is probably one of the more interesting cards you can get, because it's a free, if you control a spellcaster monsters and this is in your hand, we can special summon that during the main phase. Target a spellcaster monster you control, banish it, and if you do, special summon a Witchcrafter from your deck. I mean, that seems pretty good for a Lone Fire. 7 Tachyon also got a reprint in here. Thankfully, we knew that 7 Tachyon had to get a reprint somewhere along the way. And the fact that, these are now going to be more readily available, especially if you want to play other formats. Congratulations, Konami. You actually got ahead of the curve on this, which is surprising. We also got Lacrima's reprint here. So both Tracked and, both Fiendsmith, all the good Fiendsmith stuff is in here. They actually just put the nail in the coffin for that, which is really good. Tellarknight Singinian is in here. I mean, the new Tellarknight stuff is interesting. We also got Unbreakable Exceed Barrier. Finally, we got a good reprint for this. And then Stardust Illumination is in here. You know how many people I've been asking for a Stardust Illumination reprint? Some of this Stardust reprint, or some of these Stardust cards in general, have been plagued just by crazy situations where you just really were not able to receive them due to, printing restrictions on them. Well, golly gee, thanks Konami. So I think that this is a pretty welcoming reprint, to say the least. And then we get to see the Masked Hero Fountain in its Secret of Glory. Card actually looks really, really nice. I'm happy to actually see this. Legendary Shien is coming in the Chibi art, which definitely a very weird choice of card design to see Shien coming into the block with this good. Dupe Frog also received a very, very, very good reprint in this set, which is crazy to think about, because this card has needed a higher rarity printing in so long, and we finally just got it. Shape Snatch is in here. I don't know why. This is the equivalent of Morphin for us from the OCG, We're just getting a rarity upgrade for this for some reason. Draco Tail Sting is finally getting a higher rarity in here, which is kind of nice. I mean, we needed to actually see this. And then you get to see the picture of Fiendsmith's track in Ultra Rare. Gorgeous, gorgeous card. And Chimera Tech Mega Fleet. It looks like we were initially correct. It looks like these overframes in this set are going to be very, very hard to pull. You thought that the previous ones were hard to pull. Judging by what we're seeing right now, it's going to be the same rarities and same hassle as the Rarity Collection set. And I feel like people are going to open less of this set. So there might be less of those in circulation than what we were kind of anticipating. But, be patient. Anyway, Kongs will take care of your pre-sale needs today. Discount code MCO40 will save you on your purchase. And, well, you guys have a good rest of your day, and try to stay safe out there, alright? Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.